Okay, let's get to some practical ways that you can start to reduce blood sugar spikes, decrease insulin levels in the body, lessen inflammation, and start to heal and regenerate your body, all with diet and lifestyle practices. I have summarized the main changes we will be making to the diet and created a list of hacks that will help you to remember these changes. This week's hack is a long one, so we're only going to cover one hack this week. Next week, we'll get to the rest. Hack number 1, I want you to add GBOMBS to your diet on a daily basis. GBOMBS is an acronym coined by Dr. Joel Fuhrman to help people remember the most powerful blood sugar regulating, anti-cancer, and anti-inflammatory foods. If you can consistently get these nutrients into your diet on a daily basis, then you will be way ahead of the game when it comes to long-term health compared to most Americans. I would encourage you to keep the foods and strategies I'm about to tell you at the center of your diet for at least 6 weeks. Now, this diet challenge is only 4 weeks long, and that's just long enough for me to provide you with the tools and information you need. But if you really want to see some powerful results, like I said, I would encourage you to follow this lifestyle pattern for 6 weeks. I would really encourage you even more to make it a permanent lifestyle change. Now let's briefly cover why it's important to add each of these foods to the diet. Start by adding more greens to your diet, like kale, arugula, bok choy, spinach, chard, and broccoli. Green veggies are excellent for stabilizing blood sugar. Did you know that it is physically impossible for a person to become overweight if they are consistently eating a nutrient-dense, whole foods, plant-based diet? It doesn't matter how much salad you eat. Because of the biochemistry of how these nutrient-rich foods interact with your body, you can eat greens all day long and your body will only get healthier by shedding unnecessary weight and building strong, lean muscle tissue. Greens contain compounds called isothiocyanates. These ITC compounds are the most powerful anti-aging and anti-cancer compounds that most of us have regular access to in dietary form. But there's a catch here. You have to chew the greens in order to activate the ITC compounds. In other words, you won't get much benefit from swallowing a whole collard leaf, if that's even a thing. Whenever you chew greens, you activate these isothiocyanate compounds when myrosinase in the greens mixes with amylase in your saliva. The better you chew, the more ITCs you form, the more health benefits you derive from those greens. And there's another catch. The greens must be raw and uncooked in order for you to activate the ITC compounds. This is because of that enzyme that I just mentioned called myrosinase. If you cook the vegetables, you destroy the enzyme and you won't reap the benefits from consuming it. This is not to say you shouldn't eat cooked vegetables. You absolutely should. In fact, the goal should be to eat 1 pound or 16 ounces of raw vegetables and 1 pound or 16 ounces of cooked vegetables every day. Of course, I don't want you to pass out trying to reach this goal. It's just an average to shoot for. You should eat only the amount of food that is comfortable for you. Some people may do better with more or less. Personally, my diet varies according to season. During the summer, I'll eat much more than 1 pound of raw vegetables per day. In the winter, however, my body tends to prefer cooked vegetables that I can put in soups and stews, so the ratio shifts in the direction of cooked veggies. Greens are such a powerful superfood that I want you to make the adjustment of adding a green starter to all of your meals. If you can't get on board with eating so many greens, then the change can be something as simple as adding some raw carrots or bell pepper sticks and some hummus before your afternoon meal. The point is that we want those alkaline nutrients to hit the stomach before everything else. Now let's talk about the first B in GBOMBS, which stands for beans. Beans and lentils are a great source of plant-based protein and fiber. There are some cases where I don't recommend beans and legumes in such a high quantity in the diet, but for most people, they really are a great option for adding a food that will stabilize your blood sugar and lower those insulin levels. Beans are unique foods because of their high levels of fiber and resistant starch. And if you remember, these are carbohydrates that are not broken down by our human digestive enzymes. Fiber and resistant starch not only reduce the total number of calories absorbed from beans, but are also fermented by intestinal bacteria into fatty acids that help to prevent colon cancer. Eating beans, peas, or lentils at least twice a week has been found to decrease colon cancer risk by 50%. Legume intake also provides a significant protection against oral larynx, pharynx, stomach, and kidney cancers. Also, I mentioned that beans contain protein. This is a plant-based protein source, meaning that your body will not produce a hormone called IGF-1 when you eat it. IGF-1 stands for insulin-like growth factor. When your body produces too much IGF-1, it is associated with cancer tumor growth and accelerated aging. This is a really useful thing to know, because if you are wanting to get lots of protein in your diet so that you can ensure muscle growth and repair, plant sources are a great way to go. Eating greens, beans, nuts, and seeds will provide you with plant-based protein without the risks associated with high IGF-1 levels. I'm not necessarily advocating that you take meat out of your diet altogether. That's a more complex issue that we'll dive into more in week 4. But for now, just know that if you are looking to lose weight and balance your blood sugar, consuming beans and legumes on a regular basis is a great option. There are so many different varieties of beans and lentils. Make sure that you continually mix it up so that your body doesn't get used to just one kind. The goal is to eat 1 cup of beans per day. You can also include bean sprouts and tofu in this category. If all you have access to is canned beans, then it's not the end of the world. I think beans are still a great addition to the diet, but I want to show you why I encourage people to cook their own beans. This study, entitled "The Effect of Canning on Blood Glucose Response to Beans in Patients with Type 2 Diabetes," revealed something interesting. That the glycemic index of beans will change according to how they are prepared. Due to the high-pressure cooking process of canned beans, the glycemic index of those beans becomes higher when compared to the beans that are cooked at home from an originally dried bean form. To be specific, in this study, it was discovered that the average glycemic index of 5 different types of canned beans was approximately 71. That is still relatively high, although much better when you compare it to a slice of white bread, which has a glycemic index of 100, which means that converts to straight sugar when you eat it. In comparison, the glycemic index of the same varieties of beans dropped to 47 when they were just cooked and not canned. What this revealed is that the glycemic effect of dried legumes is increased by the canning process. The moral of the story: it's always best to buy dried beans and make them from scratch rather than buying canned beans. In this week's email materials, I'll include a YouTube link with a video tutorial showing you how to make beans at home. The O in GBOMBS stands for onions. Onions, along with leeks, garlic, chives, shallots, and scallions, make up the allium family of vegetables. This family has beneficial effects on the cardiovascular and immune systems, as well as anti-diabetic and anti-cancer effects. So what this means is that adding in onions and anything from the allium family is going to be effective at stabilizing your blood sugar levels. Allium vegetables are known for their characteristic organosulfur compounds. Similar to the ITCs in cruciferous veggies, organosulfur compounds are released when onions are chopped, crushed, or chewed. These compounds prevent the development of cancers by detoxifying carcinogens, halting cancer cell growth, and blocking cancer tumor growth. The M in GBOMB stands for mushrooms. Mushrooms are some of nature's superfoods. Technically a fungus, mushrooms are a powerful food source for humans that, when eaten regularly, actually prevent the body from putting on excess fat due to their aromatase inhibiting activity. Consuming mushrooms regularly is associated with decreased risk of breast, stomach, and colorectal cancers. In one recent Chinese study, women who ate about 1 mushroom per day had a 64% decreased risk of breast cancer. Even more dramatic protection was gained by women who ate 10 grams of mushrooms and drank green tea daily. What they saw was an 89% decrease in risk for premenopausal women and an 82% decreased risk for postmenopausal women. White, cremini, portobello, oyster, shiitake, maitake, and reishi mushrooms all have anti-cancer properties. Some are anti-inflammatory, stimulate the immune system, prevent DNA damage, slow cancer cell growth, caused programmed cancer cell death, and inhibit angiogenesis. In addition to these properties, mushrooms are unique in that they contain aromatase inhibitors, And these are compounds that can block the production of estrogen. These compounds are thought to be largely responsible for the preventive effects of mushrooms against breast cancer. Keep in mind that mushrooms should only be eaten when they're cooked. Several raw culinary mushrooms contain a potentially carcinogenic substance called agaritine, and cooking mushrooms significantly reduces their agaritine content. So the moral of the story with mushrooms is eat your mushrooms on a daily basis, but make sure you cook them first. The B in GBOMBS stands for berries. Blueberries, strawberries, and blackberries are true superfoods. Naturally sweet and juicy, berries are low in sugar and high in nutrients. They are among the best foods that you can eat. Their vibrant colors mean that they are full of flavonoids and antioxidant vitamins. As a matter of fact, berries are some of the highest antioxidant foods in existence. Their plentiful antioxidant content confers both cardioprotective and anti-cancer effects such as reducing blood pressure, reducing inflammation, and preventing DNA damage. Berry consumption has been linked to reduced risk of diabetes, cancers, and cognitive decline. Berry consumption improves both motor coordination and memory. My recommendation is to eat half a cup of berries each day. Seeds and nuts. Seeds and nuts contain healthy fats and are rich in a spectrum of micronutrients, including phytosterols, minerals, and antioxidants. Countless studies have demonstrated the heart protective benefits of seeds and nuts. In addition, seeds and nuts in the diet aid in weight maintenance and diabetes prevention. This is because they help to stabilize blood sugar levels. The nutritional profiles of seeds are similar to nuts when it comes to healthy fats, minerals, and antioxidants, but seeds are also abundant in trace minerals and they're higher in protein than nuts. And each kind of seed is nutritionally unique. Flax seeds, chia seeds, and hemp seeds are extremely rich sources of omega-3 fats. In addition to omega-3s, flax seeds are rich in fiber and lignans. Flax seed consumption protects against heart disease by a number of different mechanisms. Sunflower seeds are especially rich in protein and minerals. Pumpkin seeds are rich in iron and calcium and are a good source of zinc. Sesame seeds have the greatest amount of calcium in any food in the world and provide abundant amounts of vitamin E. Also, black sesame seeds are extremely rich in antioxidants. The healthy fats in seeds and nuts also aid in the absorption of nutrients when eaten with other vegetables, especially with green vegetables. And there you have hack number 1, eat your GBOMBS. Alright, this is a wrap for our week 2 video. We're going to dive even deeper and learn more health hacks in week 3. For now, here's a general outline of your week 2 diet program. Don't worry about trying to write this down. I have included it in your week 2 program materials. Most of these things we have covered, and I've explained why it's important to add some of these things to the diet, why we need to limit others, and why we need to completely eliminate some. You may notice that some of these topics we have not yet covered, like removing dairy products and gluten-containing foods, for example. Go ahead and remove those from your diet to the best of your ability, and we will get to the explanation of that in the weeks to come. Thanks for making time to watch this video. I'll catch you later.